Hi, this is my week two interview or overview for IT 120, and you can see the total messy room behind me. We cleaned out the garage and we haven't figured out what to do with this stuff yet. I'm going to go to the syllabus, or actually to the modules, and I want to talk about where you should be and what should be coming up next. So, you should have done this. You should have looked at the introduction and overview video. You should also look at these database overview Google slides. I have two different sets of Google slides that I did at different times, but between them they should give you some idea of what's going on. And you might actually, although it's not crucial that you do it yet, look at the slides on the relational database systems and gathering information. All of these are actually, it would be worth going through those fairly quickly. All right. So these are all about getting ready to do databases. They're not a lot. So let's look at just real quickly at the overview. They're not a lot of information. They're just give you a quick thing. So I'm going to do this in the present. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. But it talks about definitions, flat files, Excel, advantages and disadvantages, hierarchical databases, etc. It just gives you some quick overview of what is going on. And I would do those. I would look at those. I would also look at your book. I haven't got the reading set up yet for you, but I would look at the first chapter or two of the book if you've got it. All right. These are all materials. So the way these are set up, these are all introductory and overview. So they're the big picture stuff to get you going. This is materials for the individual assignments. They are not the individual assignments themselves, but these are things like the co-op interview. So when I look at that, it has a script of an interview that you can use to help define the scope. There's also one for the original, the one I used in the database for the, well, actually, so there's one, this one, and there's another one for the one you'll do later, I guess, in the database. But these slides would be worth it. You could look at Postgres if you want. I mean, that would be a couple of weeks, but you should probably look at those. These, again, are the individual slides. There are videos. There information here, and then there are some videos. So we have one on relational design and normalization and doing the co-op entity design, creating the database and tables, and for one for populating it. I will also add a couple more there. Notice that there are scripts for those videos. So just to go from the beginning, introductory overview. These are individual materials to help you with individual assignments. These are videos to help you with individual assignments. And these are the scripts for those videos. There are a couple more scripts than there are, at least right now, there's one more script than there is video. I will make that video this week. And I'll probably make a couple more as well. The assignments themselves, you guys have done pretty good with online discussions. I've been enjoying your discussions. If you haven't done it yet, do add to it. Partially because I want you to get used to using the discussion. I just noticed that I misspelled discussion. A little bit of my dyslexia showing through. Okay. The next assignment due at the end of this week, although I am not in this class too worried about due dates as long as you don't get too far behind, is to do the database scope. Now, it's based on the interview, right? I showed you that interview in that. And there, I gave you an example of a scope, which talks about what is the state of the database in the past, or what are the reasons why this new database is required, and then the scope talks about what the database needs to do. What is it that what are its general requirements? So the database you can have constraints as well. So the trick is to look at that interview and come up with a history, scope, and maybe constraints of the co-op database that'll be your assignment. It doesn't have to be perfect. I will comment on them. If I want you to fix something, you'll have a chance to fix it. So that's where you should be this week. Real quickly again, just reiterate, look at the introductory stuff. That stuff is important. Look at the individual slides for the co-op initial interview, data samples for the co-op. You don't actually need to look at any of that. Just the co-op initial interview, which is part of the assignment. You don't really need to look at any of the videos for this week, although you're welcome to look at any of them that you want. But mostly if you haven't done the online discussion, add a comment to that, and then try to work on the database scope. That's where you should be this week. You can always ask questions by email or in the discussion group, and I will try to track them. All right, so I went through that about 3 times. I hope it's clear. Have a good week and keep in touch. All right, so I am going to end this video.